Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Warren from Massachusetts is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The cryptocurrency market has exploded over the past few years, with the volume of crypto transactions reaching nearly $16 trillion last year. That's up about 600% just from 2020. Now, most of that growth has been driven by speculation and gambling, but we also know that crypto provides a new payment option for criminals and cheats. And it's how those who attack our systems with ransomware collect their money with the least risk that they will be caught. In fact, according to one of our witnesses who's here with us today, about 3/4 of the money collected in ransomware attacks last year went to Russia-linked actors. So Russians certainly know how to run illegal scams through crypto. And we know that other countries have used crypto to evade sanctions. Mr. Levin, your company tracks illicit finance in crypto. Do you know which countries have already used crypto to evade sanctions?
Thank you, Senator, for the question. It's an incredibly important issue and something that we spend a lot of time researching and detecting, actually. So when it comes to sanctions evasion, the transparency of the blockchain actually does...
Excuse me, my question was, do you know the 3 countries that have already used crypto in order to evade financial sanctions?
We have detected the use of cryptocurrency in Venezuela, Iran, and North Korea.
Okay. And just last week, FinCEN, the federal agency responsible for identifying financial crimes, issued a warning that in light of the sanctions against Russia, quote, sanctioned persons, illicit actors, and their related networks or facilitators may attempt to use crypto and anonymizing tools to evade U.S. sanctions and protect their assets around the globe, end quote. Even so, the crypto industry claims that Russians cannot use crypto to hide their wealth because the $3 trillion crypto market is too small and too transparent for that to work. So let's test that out just a little bit. Mr. Levin, let's consider one of Putin's cronies who already has $1 billion or so in crypto that he wants to hide from the governments that are enforcing sanctions on oligarchs. Now, can this oligarch make it harder to trace his money if he hops from one blockchain to another, if he deposits those tokens into a couple of wallets that don't require him to provide identifying information, and if he uses a mixing service that launders his money with other people's money?
Thank you, Senator. So the scenario that you describe, where an oligarch has $1 billion to be able to launder, requires significant amounts of liquidity to be able to obfuscate that amount of money through the use of cryptocurrency. In fact, many times we've been able to identify...
I'm sorry, let me just remind you of what my question was again. What I'm asking is about the tools that are available. Now, he may have to break it up into multiple pieces of, who knows, $100 million at a crack. But the question I'm asking is, does hopping from one blockchain to another, does depositing tokens in a couple of wallets that don't require him to provide identifying information, and does using a mixing service all make it easier for him to hide his money?
So, Senator, the answer to that question is no, because the chain hopping that occurs, you need to actually provide the tokens, which in a transparent way that allows you to move across blockchains. We've actually got software that allows you to...
So you don't think chain hopping makes it any easier to hide your money? How about depositing tokens in wallets that don't require identifying information?
You can always split the money up into wallets that don't require...
And that would help hide the money. And how about using a mixing service?
That doesn't remove the record of where the money actually sits.
But the question I'm asking is, does it make it harder to track the money?
No, so it doesn't make it harder to track the money because
using a mixing service, you're telling me, doesn't make it harder to launder money?
The daily liquidity value of mixing services globally is about $30 million.
So you might have to do this day by day?
And we have done extensive work in tracking large sums of money through mixers that have led to the arrests of people and the disruption of their activity.
You know, I'm actually a little surprised by your answer, since you charge a lot of money to untangle and track assets through the system, and the system keeps developing more ways to obscure that money, and that's part of what you advertise. But I want to get on to a question with Mr. Stansbury. You're a former assistant U.S. attorney who's led major cybercrime and money laundering investigations. So let me ask you, is it possible that the oligarch, my hypothetical oligarch, could now buy and sell some of the things that he wants, diamonds, art, maybe even real estate, without ever needing to put his money into the formal banking system, which also would make it harder for law enforcement to catch him?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, it's theoretically possible in today's market. Obviously, it's hard, but at least if he's able to go to a friendly jurisdiction and use cryptocurrency exchanges or some other platform that's not in compliance with internationally recognized anti-money laundering standards, as you've suggested, that is possible. There's also some reporting recently of jurisdictions being friendly for some purchases of real estate and other items through cryptocurrency.
So no one can argue that Russia can evade all sanctions by moving all its assets into crypto. But for Putin's oligarchs who are trying to hide, $1 billion or two, a few $100 million, crypto looks like a pretty good option. And that's why I'm introducing today my Digital Asset Sanctions Compliance Enhancement Act, along with 9 members of the Banking Committee, including the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, and the chairman of the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, and several other senators. This is a bill that would authorize the president to sanction foreign crypto firms that are doing business with sanctioned Russian entities, and authorize the Secretary of the Treasury to act. Thank you for being indulgent, for letting me run over on time. I appreciate it.
Senator Lamas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your appearing here today. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Mosher, I want to ask you a straightforward question.